Hey everyone, welcome to Always Learning. Today we are kicking off a brand new series on ReactJS, one of the most popular JavaScript libraries for building dynamic user interfaces. Now, this is the tic-tac-toe game which we will be eventually building, but that's for the later lessons. For now, let's get started. Now, assuming you have already chosen to learn React and have set up the installation process, I will not try to sell ReactJS to you. Instead, let's dive right into learning React by starting with today's focus. That is creating the first component or creating your first component and understanding how to use props. Now let's open up terminal. Okay, let me clear up my screen. Let's use command npx create react app, and then the project name, in my case I'll just put up learning React, and then the template TypeScript. Okay, so I prefer using TypeScript for modern React development because it provides significant benefits, particularly for larger and more complex applications. Its advantages include type safety, enhanced readability and scalability, and many more things. Okay, I will just wait for this process to be completed. Great, it's done. Now let's just navigate to the project, cd learning React, and let's start up the project, and using npm start command, npm run start command. Okay, so this is how your project will look. Now let's explore the code a little bit. Now your project will automatically generate several files, each serving different purposes within your React application. However, for today's lesson, we will only focus on index.txs and app.tsx. These two files are crucial for understanding the core structure for React application. Now you will grasp how React initializes and renders your application, and how the main component structure is set up. Okay, so let's start making some changes. I'll just delete this up and let me type hello. Great, so this is what we see on the UI. Now let's go back and we will create components. So for component, I'll just be creating a very basic component. I'll create a new file. I'll name it greeting.tsx, and then I'll do constant greeting, and I'll do simple return of hello, how are you, and I will just export it. For the next step, I will import the greeting component that we just created, and I will modify this to add the greeting component or greeting tag here. Okay, let's see how it looks in the UI. Great, exactly as we wrote. Now just to experiment, what we can do is we will just go back to app.tsx, and let's see what happens if I copy paste this thrice. Great, we see this 3 times. Let me just revert it back. Let's go back to greeting.tsx, and now we'll start adding the props. So for props, we will do interface greeting props, and for now just use name. Okay, let's use first name, and we'll just put it as string, and we will add it to the argument first name, and the type would be greeting props, and here I would be displaying the first name. Let's go and back to app component, and let's pass that data in this greeting tag. We'll put name as John. Let's see how it looks on the UI. Oh, my bad. We're not using name, but we're using first name. So I'll just put it to first name. Whoa. So this is how it looks on the UI. Great. Now let's just repeat this thrice, and we'll change it to Joe and Johnny. Now we should get 3 greetings. So hello John, Joe, and Johnny. Let's go back, and here we will add a new prop, let's say. So for now we'll add city, and in the UI we will put something like hello John from New York, Joe from Sydney, and Johnny from, let's say, London. Okay, and here we'll just add that extra prop, city. It's a string. We'll add it to the argument. The type would be same, greeting props, and here from city. Let's see how it looks on the UI. Yes, we see hello John from New York, Joe from Sydney, and Johnny from London. What next? Now this is pretty much it for the component and props, but we can modify it a bit more. So as you can see in app.tsx, we have written the component, or this is where we integrate the new components that we have just wrote. Now let's go back to, yes, we'll try to add some CSS to this. So for CSS we can use this app.css file, and here we can, let's say I'll just add the color blue class, and the color would be blue. Similarly, one more class I will add, which is red, and the color would be red. Now let's go in the greeting, and let's add the class here. So we'll just use span. Let me copy the first name into the span, and the class would be, let's say, blue. Now for the city, we will just use the span itself, and the color would be red. Okay, as you can see, we don't use class, but we use class name. So I'll just modify it here just to match, and let's see how it looks in the UI. Great. So as you can see, we have hello John from New York. John is in blue, New York, or the city, is in red. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope this overview of components and props was helpful in giving you a basic understanding of these concepts. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Now in our next lesson, we'll dive deeper to gain further insights into how props work and how they enhance the functionality of your components. We'll also cover event handling, exploring how to manage user interaction effectively within your application. So, thank you very much, and see you in the next lesson.